Okay, click on the front of your flower and slide it on top of the back of your flower. And we want to just lift that up a tiny bit, just so they're not touching. We then want to magic box both of them so they're both selected. We want to tab into edit mode. We're then going to come up to the left-hand side of the screen. You can see we're in edit mode. To the right of edit mode, make sure that vert selection is selected. We're going to click on that top middle vert, and then we're going to orbit below, which you're going to hold down your middle mouse button to orbit. And then we're going to hit our shift key, and we're going to hit that middle vert on the bottom of our flower. We're now going to come up to the middle of our screen, and you're going to see there's a little bullseye here. This is our proportional editing tool, so we're going to click that on. Now we're looking at our flower. Tap G on your keyboard and Z, because we want to move it on the Z axis, and the Z axis is the up and down axis, and we're just going to pull that down. G, Z, and pull that down. Don't worry that the back is kind of coming into the front. We're going to fix that. Okay. Now, the proportional editing tool is great for when you're creating organic objects in Blender. It kind of helps move all of the model in unison and gives it more of an organic shape. We're going to tab into object mode, and we're just going to grab that bottom flower and pull it down, up, pull the top up, or pull the bottom down, just so they're not intersecting. And that's all there is to it. Now you can select both of them, come up to Object, and Join. I want to rotate that 90 degrees. Again, we can go over to our Objects panel. Oh, I went 92 and change. Let's type in 90. There we go. And we've got a pretty little flower for our vines. We're going to put that off to the side a bit. And we're going to work on our vines. So let's select our plane with the vines on it. We're going to tab into edit mode. We're going to go back over to loop cut, hold down your left mouse button, roll over loop cut, and let go, and now your tool is activated. We're going to give this 3 loop cuts on the top. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give it 4, 5, 6, 7 on the sides. So we've got, when I tap A to select all, you can see we've got a nice grid here. Let's hit our arrow key to get out of that, to drop that tool. All right. Now, I want to give this a little interest because vines don't sit flat on anything, on a wall, on a fence. It just doesn't. But I want to bring the mesh out a little bit. I never want to bring the mesh back because we don't want it to be buried into something in world. So again, we're going to make sure our proportional editing tool is on. We're going to grab our move tool. And I'm just going to, I want to select like these 4 vertices. Make sure verts is selected. We're going to hit G on our keyboard, But this time we don't want to move on the z-axis. We want to move on the y-axis, which is front to back. So I'm going to hit G on my keyboard, and I'm going to hit Y for the y-axis, and you see the green line show up. And I'm just going to pull that out a little bit. Not too much, but just to give it a little interest. I'm then going to grab these verts, and again, tap G on your keyboard and Y, and bring that out a little bit. I might want to, there. And let's just G, Y, and just bring these out a little bit. G, Y, and bring that out a little bit. And then you've got, a little interest. It's not going to be butted up flat to your wall. But that looks good. So let's tab into object mode. We're now going to grab our flower, and we're going to move that over to the vines. We're going to tap S for scale on our keyboard, and we're going to scale that down. And these guys are going to be fairly small. And we're going to put them in place. And now we're going to right-click on our flower, duplicate objects, hit Escape so it snaps back into the original spot, and move it up. And I'm going to hit S on my keyboard to make that a little smaller. And we want to continue this through all of our vine. I'll make that one a little bit bigger. Duplicate object, escape, and move it into place. Right click to duplicate object, hit escape, move it into place. And I don't want them all the same size, so I am going to vary the sizes. Right click, duplicate object, hit escape, and move it into place. All right, looks good. But I see on my vine background, I'm seeing a crease. So we're going to select our vine plane, and we're going to right click, and we're going to hit shade smooth. And now you can see all those vines are nice and smooth. We can do that to our flowers as well. Shade smooth. Shade smooth. Okay. And you're just right clicking on each flower and shading it smooth. Alright, beautiful. Now we're going to magic box the whole thing, select it all, come up to object, and join. And you've got your flowers and vines. But here's one critical point. Again, we said that mesh planes only have one side. So if you come up to the left of the material globes and go to that first down arrow, the overlays panel, you're going to want to come down to face orientation. And now everything blue you will see in world. But when you spin this around, that would be invisible. And we do not want any invisible planes. So we select all of that, we right click and duplicate our objects, hit escape so it snaps right back into the exact spot we duplicated it. We're going to hit tab on your keyboard to select that object, A for all to select all of that mesh, and come up to mesh, down to normals, and over to flip. Now, we're going to tab out of edit mode into object mode. Now you can see it's showing as purple and pink, which means that you'll be able to see all of the planes. Now, magic box the whole thing, go up to object and join. Beautiful. And now go to file, export as Collada, and bring it in world. Alright, we're in world, we're in cool school at the curiosity zone. And I brought my vines and flowers in, and this is my original. And don't forget, you can change your texture map. Bring it into Photopea, or what I did, I went into Copilot and I uploaded the original texture map, and I asked it to make it hyper realistic with red flowers, and I asked it to make it hyper realistic with yellow flowers. And then what I did, I checked it. I went back into Photopea with the new images Copilot made for me, and I made sure they lined up really good. And I popped them onto my original mesh to change them up. It's a whole new world out there with Copilot and AI, so feel free to change your textures. Now you don't have to redo these vines every time. And I'm going to pop my images that I created into the vines and flowers thread at the Cool School Discord. Talk to you later.